live with studios in Midland and Odessa. You're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Very contagious, like the smiling is contagious, and you get this sense of joy while you're going through it that lifts you up and pushes you through those tough spots.
A West Texas runner just completed the Boston Marathon. Coming up in just a few minutes, we hear more about the runner, about his inspiration. That's coming up on CBS 7 News at 9. Thanks for joining us tonight for CBS 7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live from the CBS 7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and we start tonight with continuing coverage on the distemper outbreak at the Midland Animal Shelter. You'll remember back in March, the city of Midland announced that the highly contagious viral disease had made its way to the shelter, forcing them to suspend animal adoptions and intakes. Today, the city announced that they received results stating that the majority of animals at the shelter have distemper. Because of these results, the shelter is asking local organizations and national organizations to rescue as many animals as possible.
After that, unfortunately, we will have to humanely euthanize any dogs in our facility. We then plan to shut down for a few days so we can deep clean the facility.
MAS is giving other organizations until the end of the business day on Saturday in order to save the dogs. In some public safety news now, all across the nation, more and more minors are falling victim to sextortion, including students right here in the Permian Basin. That's why Ector County ISD is teaming up with law enforcement and Harmony Home in order to bring awareness to these crimes against children. Let's talk about what exactly that crime is. Sextortion, I should say, is the practice of extorting money from victims by threatening to reveal sexual photos or videos of that person to their friends, family, or the public. Dr. Miri says they were made aware about the problem at ECISD through federal agencies.
Last summer, we were visited by the Department of Homeland Security that raised the alarm, children specifically in our area being targeted by adults, not only in the United States, but adults from around the world, accessing our kids through many times their cell phones.
These workshops will teach parents, students, and the general public about sextortion so that they can see the red flags before it's too late.
A lot of teenagers, when we describe these circumstances, they don't think this could ever happen to them, and they're a little bit in denial over it. And then the circumstances happen, and now we end up here. So we're hoping through educating the students, the public, the parents, what to look for on these issues, we can prevent it from happening.
The first workshop will be held at New Tech Odessa at 6 p.m. next Thursday, and the second workshop will be virtually on the 2nd of May. You can find that link on our website at cbs7.com. In an emergency, you want as many trained eyes on the scene as possible, especially from above. That's why the West Odessa Volunteer Fire Department invested in drones. A special team mans the drones from a remote location where they're able to see situations like wildfires or car crashes from the sky. It helps authorities get an idea of what's happening at the scene before sending someone in. Firefighters say this is helpful because it allows them to cover more ground.
Drones are an extremely useful tool. They're a force multiplier. They allow us to cover a large area in a quicker time than it would be able to cover on foot.
The drones are equipped with thermal imaging, a spotlight, and a laser rangefinder that collects information from above in order to help keep firefighters safe.
Instead of sending a firefighter in with an air pack, who the air pack has the potential to fail and expose the firefighter to those poisonous gases and injure or kill them, we can send a drone in to gather information, and they'll know exactly what they're going into and what they need to do before they get there.
The Odessa Volunteer Fire Department is the first one in the Permian Basin to have this kind of equipment, and officials say that they hope to see more departments follow their lead. And West Texans continue to feel pain at the pump as gas prices rise throughout the state. According to a report from AAA, Midlanders can expect to pay around $3.34 a gallon. That's a 7-cent increase from last week's prices. Meanwhile, Odessa drivers are paying around $3.31. The lowest average continues to be in Amarillo, where people are seeing prices as low as $3.01. And the highest price in the state is in Fort Worth, where the average price for gas is $3.46. The average price across the country currently stands at $3.67 a gallon, and the state average is $3.29. That's actually 7 cents less compared to this time last year. And this afternoon, Texas Tech Athletics announced that they are canceling this Saturday's spring football game due to forecasted thunderstorms in the Permian Basin. Head coach Joey McGuire said in a statement, in part, quote, "This was a decision that we didn't want to make as our entire program was looking forward to a trip back to Midland." He added, quote, "We appreciate the many donors who helped organize this event, as the Permian Basin area is such a tremendous supporter of this football program and the university." The game was supposed to be played at a Stown Broadband Stadium in Midland, but instead the Red Raiders will now host a closed to the public scrimmage. Let's take a pause now and take a look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Teever-Teller. Tom, we were just talking about forecasted weather in this weekend. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we are expecting rain showers, even some thunderstorms to move in. Looks like early on Saturday morning. Today we had a cold front move in across the area. Affect some people with some allergies and things like that, myself included, as we saw temperatures again right around 90 degrees before the front rolled into the area, and then that dropped temperatures quite a bit. San Angelo was up to 101 degrees, but then that front rolled through and we saw those we'll go back one here. I want to show you this one more time. Again, 101 in the San Angelo area, 97 in Pecos. It was up to 105 down towards Rio Grande Village. We had some gusty winds in the 30-mile-an-hour range plus associated with that front. They're trying to calm down a little bit. Still sustained around 15 to 20 miles an hour with some gusts upwards to 30 miles an hour still, but they're trying to calm down a little bit as temperatures are cooling off. Very pleasant out there across the area. Taking a look at this futurecast, we're going to see the clouds on the increase throughout the day on Friday, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. May pick up a shower across portions of the mountain areas into the lower Trans-Pecos, but the bigger chances of rain rolling in first thing Saturday morning and continuing through the afternoon hours. We're expecting some of that rain. Could be heavy in some spots.
Thank you, Tom. Now looking ahead to the May 2024 special election. The Midland City Council at-large seat will be on the ballot, and there are 5 candidates. Those 5 men and women talked about their goals in a debate on Basin PBS, moderated by CBS7's Mary Kate Hamilton. If you missed the debate, don't worry. Mary Kate will have a full recap tonight on CBS7 News at 10. You can also catch the debate again on KWWT My 30. That'll be on Tuesday, April 30th at 7 p.m. Let's take a look at some health headlines now. Medical Center Hospital is offering a new solution for knee replacement surgery. The new Veli's robotic-assisted solution will help surgeons perform the operation for a faster recovery. The machine gives less trauma to the soft tissue in the knee, so patients can be walking around 2 or 3 hours after surgery.
Trying to get patients up and walking within 2 to 3 hours after the surgery, and home within 24 hours of the surgery, or same day or next day surgeries.
With this technology, patients don't have to travel far to receive the proper care. They can have the operation right here in the Permian Basin.
You don't need to go to Dallas or Houston or anywhere for your knee replacement or hip replacement. We have the same outcomes or better at MCH as far as our quality metrics like length of stay.
MCH has been planning to purchase the new technology for the last few months, and there have already been several successful procedures completed. And by day, Brian Vogt is a woodshop teacher and soccer coach for Andrews Middle School. But by night, or early morning I should say, he's a marathoner who just completed the Boston Marathon.
Let's go, Brian! Woo!
Brian Vogt hasn't always been a runner. In fact, he's only been running long distance for 4 years. But he was inspired by his wife, Jill. So in January of 2022, he ran his first marathon. Then 9 months later, he ran another one. That's when he decided he was going to run the historic Boston Marathon.
It's really hard to explain the experience. I mean, there's just so many people there, and you know that you're among elite runners, and you're among people that have maybe trained their whole life to get to that point.
Vogt said that during the race, he wanted to just live in the moment. So he turned down his music so that he could hear his footsteps, his breathing, and of course, cheers from the crowd.
None of us were prepared for the crowd. I mean, you imagine that it's going to be crowded, but nobody really can wrap their head around it unless they're there.
Vogt finished his race in 2 hours and 58.22 seconds. Congratulations. Still ahead, a cold snap in Missouri may delay the season's cicada emergence. We'll tell you more about it next in your News Across the Nation here on CBS 7 News at 9. Across the nation, nature enthusiasts are eagerly, awaiting the arrival of cicadas. But a cold snap in Missouri could delay their emergence. Tracy Henson has more from a Missouri butterfly house.
If you'd asked me 2 days ago, I would have said there's a really good chance we're going to see them this Friday or before.
But
the ground has to hit 64 degrees, 8 inches below the surface. So we've been measuring it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and it is getting close fast.
And
as you know, we do have a cold front coming through, so the cicadas are sort of in a race against the clock to see if it's going to hit 64 degrees before or after that cold front.
If they don't come out this weekend,
so I think we might be pushing that emergence a week or two down the road.
Buying us a little bit of time, but when they do come out, they'll be around for about a month.
Like a month? Oh my God. I mean, okay, it is what it is, you know?
Maybe we have to become one with the bugs.
So for the last few weeks, I've been in here playing music inspired by the flight patterns of butterflies.
When the cicadas come,
I'm hoping to go to some places that are heavily cicada oriented and try and do some cicada themed music with my band Mama Lujo. But I'm hoping that we can get them right as they're coming out of the ground. Something somber and spooky, just like them.
Might be onto something. Since we're not going to beat them, we might as well join them. I'm thinking cicadas are going to sound like this. It's a very bad version of E.T.
I think that cicadas are pretty much perfect for your science fiction fix. They really are like something out of fantasy.
Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
Well, it was a hot one before that front rolled in across parts of West Texas. Cooler weather's on the way and even some rain. We're going to talk about that and how it's going to impact the weekend coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, some areas did touch 90 plus this afternoon before the front. Looking at those high temperatures again, wanted to show you this, that we did see 85 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport, but up to 90 in Big Spring and Midland before the front arrived, and 97 in Pecos. Wondering where the hot spot was? It's down towards Rio Grande Village, 105 degrees this afternoon. 101, a record high in San Angelo before the front rolled in. And then once it hit some of that humid, warm air, showers and thunderstorms popped up down towards areas around Lomita and then down towards Mason County this evening, and moving off to the east and southeast, but back towards West Texas. Though we're just dealing with some of those high clouds that are moving across. Here's the disturbance that we're going to be watching here over the next couple of days, as it's going to bring the showers, thunder showers back to our forecast for the start of the weekend. Right now, there could be pockets of some heavier rain, a better chance of rain than we've seen in quite a while. So definitely something we'll be watching for you coming up for the start of the weekend. Doing something outdoors Saturday, not the best day. Move it on in if you can, just to be on the safe side. Again, that front has moved down towards portions of the Texas Hill Country, kicking off thunderstorms along a dry line here in extreme northeastern Mexico, but we're on the dry side of everything with a little bit of breeze out there. And high temperatures today across the state ranged from 64 in Amarillo and up to 105 at Rio Grande Village, 98 down towards the Del Rio area, so quite a contrast with that front. Again, more clouds on the way for tomorrow and into Friday. We're going to see that. Can't rule out an isolated shower, thunder shower. Best bet will be across, well, the Big Bend area, the Davis Mountains, the lower Trans-Pecos, before we see the better chance of rain really start to roll in coming up on Saturday morning, continuing into the afternoon hours, kind of for the eastern half of West Texas. And again, heavy rain, thunderstorms will be a possibility. Rest of tonight, here's what we're looking at. More clouds on the way as the winds will stay up a little bit, and they'll stay that way for tomorrow as we'll see thicker clouds in the forecast, but cooler temperatures, and that'll be the case for the weekend with that rain moving in. Sunday is going to be the better day of the weekend, it looks like, as the rain moves out and we see the continuation of nice temperatures into next week.
Thank you, Tom. And springtime means spring cleaning. But we're not talking about your home. We'll discuss spring cleaning your mental health with Centers for Children and Families after the break.
We are all familiar with the idea of spring cleaning. Sometimes, though, we need to do a little spring cleaning check on our mental health. Here to talk more about that is Christy Edwards and Melanie Size from Centers for Children and Families. Thank you both for being here today. So, Christy, why is it important to spring clean our lives as a mental health check?
Any season is a good season to check in on ourselves. Spring is particularly special because of the same reasons we clean our home. The season brings new energy as winter's darker days become fewer or a thing of the past. People sometimes emerge from their seasonal affective disorder if you find yourself suffering from that, and you find yourself with a little greater enthusiasm and motivation. I know I've cleaned out a few closets and a few drawers. I didn't go crazy, but I did do a few things. The day-to-day monotony of life can leave us stressed and burned out. Taking a review of our habits and making small changes can make a large impact on our well-being.
Yeah, and so Melanie, how do we begin a spring clean well check?
The first thing that you should do is review your daily habits. Do something so that you can keep track of what you're doing, what are the good things, what are the bad things. You could keep a daily activity journal. You might make a few notes in your planner. Just track things like your moods, maybe your screen time. Obviously, there's a bit of tracking that's available on your phone, which is very helpful. Highlight any items you'd like to change or focus on. For example, if you keep falling asleep watching Netflix or, I don't know, murder documentary, you might want to change it. It might not be the best thing for sleep, but pay attention to some of those things that you sort of do on cruise control every day to see what you can change going forward.
And so, Christy, what can someone do to get started on making those changes?
All right, so we want you to start, like Melanie said, just some small changes in your everyday routine. Take a different route to work. Don't stop by Starbucks. Just go to work and make your coffee. Just anything that you might change. If you find yourself falling asleep on the couch watching anything, make an effort to go take a walk, phone a friend. Just make dinner, anything that's small that can keep your mind off of, the things that you were previously doing. So plan an activity such as going on a vacation, take a trip to the farmer's market. Make sure you focus on enjoying the anticipated event. Then make a concerted effort to spend quality, unplugged time with friends and family.
So important indeed. And so, Melanie, I think the question many people might have is if we're doing all these things and it's maybe not working or we're not taking the right approach, where can we turn to for a little more help?
Well, first of all, if you can, try to enlist a friend or family member to become an accountability partner for this little journey that you have. You can certainly help each other with it, maybe have moments where you talk about some of the things you can change. But if you're having a bit of a larger scale struggle and need some guidance with life's difficulties, need help finding your focus, give us a call at Centers or contact any therapist. Licensed professional counselors are here to help.
Melanie Size, Christy Edwards with Centers for Children and Families on spring cleaning our mental health. Thank you both so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Still ahead, if you know me, you know I will make any excuse to talk about women's basketball star Caitlin Clark. So guess what we're going to talk about? Her 8-figure deal with Nike. That's next here on CBS 7 News at 9. All right, before we go, Tom, it's been a pretty big week for Caitlin Clark. So not only,
rightly so.
Yeah, I know. Not only was she selected as the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, there's now talk that she could sign a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal with Nike. That's a pretty big deal.
Well, she is the all-time scorer.
I mean, she is, and she's incredible. The contract is rumored to include a signature shoe and be worth 8 figures. Now, that's far more than her starting pay with the Indiana Fever.
Well, those poor women are paid so
Oh,
low
they are.
in the WNBA. So,
But hopefully, Caitlin Clark is paving the way for them to be able to
and
make
quite
more.
an inspiration to the younger girls out there.
She is
coming
incredible.
up, but she is something else, holding that.
I think I
record,
might need
beating-
to get some of those shoes.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm a huge bandwagon Indiana Fever fan now. I'm all in on Caitlin Clark.
And I think Indiana's colors are yellow and blue, so
So
fit
it works
right in.
with, yeah, there we go. I'll have to try that out. Thanks for watching us tonight on CBS 7 News at 9. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.